Ketheeswaram, the ancient and legendary temple. If we go through the history and legends of Ketheeswaram temple, we definitely get surprised by the stories and facts attached to it. Ketheeswaram is an ancient Hindu temple in Mannar, northern province, Sri Lanka. The exact date of the Ketheeswaram temple's birth is not universally agreed upon. Let's go through the ins and outs of the history of this legendary temple. According to the Indian epic Ramayana composed by sage Valmiki, Ravana was a king of the island Lanka and great worshipper of Lord Siva. Ravana was described to be the eldest son of sage Vishrava and Rakshasi Kaikesi. Vishrava was the grandson of god Brahma, the creator of the universe in Hindu mythology. Mandothari was the wife of King Ravana. Her father, Mayan, the king of Manthai, built the ancient temple of Thiruketheeswaram to worship Lord Shiva. Mandothari used to visit the temple to worship Lord Siva. It was also described that Maharshi Bhrigu worshipped Siva at this shrine. Bhrigu was one of the great 7 sages called Saptarshis, and one of the many Prajapatis created by Brahma. Another tradition holds that the Hindu planetary god, Ketu, worshipped Shiva at the shrine, thus creating the shrine's name, Ketheeswaram. Ketu is the descending lunar node in Hindu astrology. He is generally referred to as a shadow planet. It is believed that Ketu and another planetary god, Rahu, are 2 parts of a common body. People also believe that these 2 planetary gods have a tremendous impact on human lives, and also the whole creation. The Dakshina Kalasa Manmiyam are the 3 chapters of the Skanda Purana. It is an ancient legendary work in Sanskrit. It deals with the historical events in ancient Ceylon, today's Sri Lanka. The first chapter depicts the Puranas in general and the splendor of ancient Ceylon. The second chapter portrays the celebrated places of religious importance in Ceylon and the story of Thiruketheeswaram. In this chapter, it is narrated that the god of wind, Vayudeva, uprooted the 3 towers of the great mountain, Mahameru, in order to keep off Atichedan, who fought against him. Mahameru alias Semeru, alias Mount Semeru, is an active volcano in East Java in Indonesia. The god of wind deposited one of these towers at Thiruketheeswaram. Then the Lord Siva established himself there. According to the Manmiyam, an historical book in Tamil about Battikaloa, a major city in the eastern province of Sri Lanka, Thiruketheeswaram along with Koneshwaram are 2 of the 9 most sacred places of the Hindus. The other 7 are in India. Paul Peiris, British civil servant in Sri Lanka and popular historian, wrote that Thiruketheeswaram was one of the 5 recognized Ishwarams of Siva in Lanka long before the arrival of Prince Vijaya in 600 BC. According to the Mahavamsa chronicle, Prince Vijaya was the first Sinhalese king. The shrine is known to have existed for at least 2,400 years with inspirational and literary evidence of the post-classical era, 600 BC to 1500 AD, attesting to the shrine's classical antiquity. The existence of the Thiruketheeswaram temple attests to the antiquity of the buried ancient Tamil trading port of Mandotham or Manthai or Manthai in the Mannar district. The extant remains of the culture of the area during the ancient period have provided historians the location of Ketheeswaram. During the ancient period, Mandotham was a center of international trade with Greeks, Romans, Phoenicians, Arabs, Ethiopians, Persians, Chinese, Japanese, Burmese and others, vying with each other to monopolize the trade of North Ceylon with Tamil traders. The ancient ruins of Mandotham are under sand today and so-called a buried city. In the Tamil Sangam literature of the classical period, 600 BCE and 300 CE, it is viewed as the only port on the island and one of the greatest ports on the seaboard. Between the island and Tamilakam. Tamilakam geographically refers to today's Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Puducherry, Lakshadweep, and southern parts of Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. Hugh Neville, a British civil servant, researcher of the culture of Sri Lanka, wrote about the illustrious city of Mandotham in 1887. A renowned shrine grew into repute there, dedicated to one supreme god symbolized by a single stone, and in later times restored by a Sivarite after lying long in ruins. The temple was dedicated as Thiruketheeswaram. Thiruketheeswaram was largely destroyed by Portuguese colonials, and pujas were terminated at the shrine in 1589. In 1872, Arumukha Navalar, a Sri Lanka Shivite, Tamil language scholar, polemicist, and religious reformer, appealed to rebuild the temple. The appeal was granted and the temple was rebuilt at its original site in 1903. The Thiruketheeswaram Temple Restoration Society renovated the temple and performed Kumbhabhishekam in August 1952. Kumbhabhishekam is a Hindu ritual ceremony in which consecration of an idol and gopuram by pouring water from pots and reciting appropriate mantras. It is done to temples to renew and revamp the power of the temple and the deities in it. The society did further renovation of the temple, and another Kumbhabhishekam was held on the 4th of July 1976. All these details and concerned web link is given in the description box. Thank you for watching. Encourage our efforts with your likes and shares. Please subscribe to our channel and post your comments. We would like to hear from you. Thank you.